in the same way how it translates practically is if you don't steward your cards correctly, if you don't steward your time correctly, not only are you missing out on the 60 points or the time that you could have been spending, but you're also losing out because you didn't steward it correctly.
I don't know why they thought they could sneak out, but they did it. They did it. But then these nuts right here, let me tell you what they did.
What was the craziest thing you ever did to get in trouble?
Yeah, JC.
After prom, I didn't really get in trouble for that because I kind of
No.
downplayed it a little bit. But the second time, I got in a little bit.
You did get in trouble because
I did it again.
you're not supposed to be drinking nothing, sir. Can I tell you a crazy thing I did?
Sure.
Hey, son.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. So what had happened was this episode
This episode.
was supposed to come out probably like 2 weeks ago. Maybe a week ago.
It's okay. Nobody else is on a timetable except you. In your head,
Except
you're
everybody DMs me and is like, hey, yo,
where are y'all?
y'all were supposed to have been, you know what I mean?
Look at the bright
that's
side
what
of that. That means that you're doing a good job on your podcast, and it means that people are hopeful that you'll keep going and that you'll
Right.
keep producing these.
No,
See?
absolutely. And I'm very glad.
But you're saying we're behind.
We're behind. We
Well-
got to do better.
We should start out with our theme song.
Okay. I gotta log in and do some things.
You got to log in while I'm doing the theme song?
I got to get the questions ready.
But shouldn't we do our theme song first?
How about you do it? Let the people enjoy you for a second, and let me.
Hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
you have fun over there.
Hey, hey, hey.
How was Desperate for Jesus? We should talk about that.
Do you know what the prep is?
The prep. What's that? The prep.
It's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, I've seen it. Like,
It's a
old
dance
people
from the
do that.
90s.
It's the 90s?
Yeah, it was in the 90s, yes. What about the Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You know that?
Yep.
And then what about the Roger Rabbit?
My password was incorrect.
The Roger Rabbit?
My password for.
But the Roger Rabbit. Do you know how to do the Roger Rabbit?
Oh, gosh.
So clearly, my son is unprepared to begin the podcast. I don't know if he's going to edit this part out or if he's just going to let it stay. So while he is still clearly figuring out his life, you know what? Maybe you could use this part as a little edit separate from the podcast episode itself when you edit, because then people won't know how unprepared you were when you sat down. You're going to have to excuse yourself. Put the laptop. You want me to hold the laptop while
Yeah,
you excuse
just-
yourself to go get the
Yeah,
authentication
just
code?
one sec.
Okay.
1 sec.
So while he's clearly still trying to get his life together, he asked me, how was Desperate for Jesus? So I'll just tell you that while he's doing this. So the Desperate for Jesus Women's Conference is the conference that our home church here in Dallas, Texas hosts. This was our 21st year. It started in 2004. So 2025.
259000.
Sir, I'm not employed here. I'm on-air talent. I am not staff. It said, yeah, it's going to ask you to save your info now. You just gave everybody in the world your login code. No, actually, that's just the very, right.
Okay.
So never mind. So anyway, the Desperate for Jesus Women's Conference, we had a great time. Oh my gosh. Kathy Taylor sang for us. She's just a woman that has been, she's just been in ministry and music forever. If you don't know who Kathy Taylor is in Houston, oh my gosh, just the most rich, all I can say is historical voice. Like it just sounds like it has girth and anointing and that good traditional sort of black church homey sound that makes you just want to remember what the ancestors went through to meet with God. That's Kathy Taylor's voice. And then we also had Cece Winans. She did not sing. She sang a little hymn before her message, but she came to speak because our theme this year was legacy. So she and her incredibly beautiful, spectacular, brilliant daughter, Ashley, came, and the two of them together, along with my sister and her oldest daughter, Karis and Crystal, we talked about legacy and what it means to hand the baton of faith and hand the baton of legacy on to the next generation, whether you're doing that biologically because they're your kids, or you're doing that through the people you're discipling and mentoring, how important that is. So we had a great time at Desperate for Jesus. Can I be finished ad-libbing now? Are we ready to start? Or
I'm
you're
like
not ready?
so close.
He's so close.
I'm so
I
close.
don't understand this. We started the podcast, but he's not ready. Should we just act like it's a brand new podcast?
I don't think so. I think we just keep what we had. Just keep it.
But we didn't open this podcast.
Don't need to. You opened it.
Oh, you're going to edit that onto this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you again, son.
Yep. Glad to be back at it.
I know, because that means you're back in Dallas. See, if we're recording,
Finally.
that means my son is home
That's exactly what that means.
from college for a little while, which makes my heart happy.
Yeah, because 10 out of the 12 months I'm not here.
That's right, because he is a basketball player, D1 University, and it is like a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And it used to be that seasons went in actual seasons.
Yeah, no.
But now basketball season,
Yep.
it's all year round. You won't be done till spring break, basically.
Yeah. But the last time we tried to do this episode, and this time, like yesterday, I posted, hey, podcast questions.
I saw that.
Everybody, if you have a question,
Did you get some good questions?
we're going to find out.
Okay, so this
I don't know.
podcast episode is for us to answer the people's questions.
The people's questions. See
Because
what
we
they
are
got.
the people's podcast.
See what they got.
The homie podcast.
Yeah. We'll see what they got.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find a good one.
My son is not prepared.
I'm trying to find the good questions. I
but you
pick
didn't
out
find the good
beforehand.
questions like a good producer?
No,
like before
that's
the
too much work. That's not real and authentic anymore.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel? I'll ask you this one.
Okay.
How do you feel God is calling you closer to Himself? In what ways? In what way or ways?
Well, I think that all of spiritual growth, which basically is what that question is about, getting closer to Christ,
Right.
getting closer to God, is that spiritual growth. And I think the reason why that happens, or how it happens, is in increments of surrender. So there is always something that He's asking us to surrender in each season. And in this season of my life, I think that honestly, there are some areas of entertainment that are not sinful in and of themselves. It's just maybe they're taking too much of my time, effort, energy, too much of my investment, too much of my passion. So there's nothing wrong with them, but I do think He's asking me to revisit some of my priorities with things that are not sin. It's just that they are maybe monopolizing some of the first fruits of my time, talent, and attention that need to be reserved for Him. So He's just refining and pruning and saying, no, me first. And so that feels like the primary way right now that I feel the Holy Spirit sort of chipping away at things that, again, what can make it challenging is that it's not sinful. So you're kind of like, what are we even talking about? Why am I convicted about this? Why are you even challenging me about this? And that's why, because He wants to be first.
So I know, we're authentic, but are you authentic enough to say what, like an example of what that thing may be?
An example of what that would be. So, I enjoy a good Netflix situation.
Yeah, you do. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you all
do.
day.
So I can, what'd you say?
That's what you do all day.
Did you say all day?
All day.
You gonna really lead people to believe that I sit in here and watch Netflix all day?
That's what I thought you did for your job growing up. Do you remember that?
Yes. So let's clarify. This is a myth and a perspective. You know how kids sort of think they know what's happening in their parents' lives, and then they get older and realize, oh, that's not what they were doing. That is what he's referring to, because you're going to have people up here thinking that I watch Netflix all day. No. They saw me with my laptop a lot and books sitting around on dining room tables and stuff. So they assumed I'm just sitting there, casually typing emails, talking to folks, watching Netflix, watching Hulu. But I was writing whole books. But from your 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old perspective, that's not what you thought. Is that correct?
So when I went in the bed.
And I was watching Netflix.
Every time. It was a coincidence.
Okay, let's go back to the question.
God's providence.
Let's go back to the question.
I don't know.
I have so many answers to that. Number one, a lot of the times when you would jump in the bed with me, I would swap what I was doing. Now, sometimes, yeah, I was watching Netflix or Hulu or whatever. Sometimes, especially since when you were 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, there was no Hulu. So let's be clear. I wasn't watching streaming services when you're 21 now. When you were 10, there was no
Really?
streaming, no. Streaming services. I don't know.
Had to have been Netflix at 10, Mom.
You need to Google it. Google when streaming services became a thing.
Streaming services.
We did not have Netflix 10 years ago.
Mom.
I'm saying if it was available, we didn't have it at our house, or I didn't have a subscription to it.
So what did I watch at 10?
You watched YouTube probably, and they had stations still that had shows on it that we could actually watch on the television. We would watch regular TV.
Mom, we definitely had Netflix when I was 10 years old.
I don't think we had Netflix.
I was, when it became popular, when Netflix became popular, I was 3.
What?
Yes.
Impossible.
Nope.
YouTube?
2007 is when it became popular.
No. Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
Mom, I cannot make this up.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm glad you Googled that because time has flown. I'm serious. I did not think that was a thing.
But anyways, okay.
I still don't think we had it. But anyway, the point, or we had a subscription to it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, my point is, there are sometimes you would jump in the bed. Still to this day, I will do it. When your brother, who is getting ready to be 17, the few times now that he wants to jump in the bed with me and kind of hang out, I will stop work mode to turn something on just to hang out and be able to watch an episode of something with y'all. But yes, sometimes, back to your original question, because we got totally off on a tangent. I can get into a series and I want to watch the whole. That's the beauty of streaming services, is that you don't have to wait a week for the next episode. You can just watch the entire season, but then that can monopolize all your time. So that's something that I can tell that my bent would be to just sit there and absorb the whole thing. And I can just feel the Lord challenging me on the amount of time. There's nothing wrong with doing that, especially when you have here and there, you have a day where you choose to do that. You're like, no, what I'm going to do here is veg out, read this whole novel or watch this entire series. So there's nothing wrong with it. But when you feel the conviction of the Holy Spirit about it, you should pause and ask questions and see what is the Lord trying to refine. That's one of the things that he's trying to restructure in my flesh's tendency.
Right.
Especially in this season of my life.
Right. All right. So if I see you watching Netflix too much, I can be your accountability.
Excuse me. I said the Holy Spirit. I did not ask for you to challenge me in any way, sir.
Community.
No,
accountability.
you're not my community. You're not my peer.
I'm not your group.
No, you're not my community.
My bad.
My community discipleship group is not you.
That's actually crazy, but hey, I respect it, I guess.
No, you can be my community, JC.
Nope, I don't want it no more.
Oh,
okay. What's something you
But
wish...
what about you, though?
Oh, well, no, that was a you question.
No, I want to ask you.
I don't know.
How is the Lord refining you right now?
That's not how
It
this works,
is how
Mom.
this works. This is not an interview. This is a conversation.
No, but I'm going to answer some questions too, but like...
Excuse me. I'm the parent here, and I would like to know, in what ways is the Lord refining
I feel like this is less for the podcast. This is more for your knowledge.
No, I think there are a lot of 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 17-year-olds that would love to hear at your stage of life right now, how is the Lord sort of challenging and refining your relationship with him?
All right. I would say the main thing is he's been putting on my heart the value of priority. And even the priority of things that are good, like where they lie. So, for example, most people may not know, but I'm an entrepreneur in multiple different facets. But my point in saying that is like being an entrepreneur takes a lot of time and effort and money and just a lot of different things. And so the reason why I want to be an entrepreneur is in multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons is for when I get married and have kids, that I can steward my time how I please. Like my dad was like that, and so like I just feel like that's kind of what I want to do with my kids and how I want to be.
You want to be able to be free to spend time with them and be at their games and be
And it could possibly, Lord willing, give them a financial comfort in ways that could give them experiences and all type of stuff.
And a good head start in life and that sort of thing.
Exactly. And so that's my main goal for entrepreneurship. But in order to get that goal, you have to work really, really hard. And so sometimes the work becomes the priority before the why of which I set, because like it just, you have to constantly remind myself that that's the reason. And so whenever the priority changes, all the work feels different.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not for my family anymore. Now it's for my pleasure, or for greed, or for whatever it is. And so, like working hard is not bad.
No,
but it
it's
has
good.
to
It's
be
good quality.
exactly, but it has to be placed in the right priority with everything.
The right motivation.
The right motivation, the
Yeah.
right everything. So he's been challenging me as far as like what priorities, like what are your values and how to place them properly in
Yeah.
your priority list.
That's great. That's a very mature answer, son. Very proud of you.
I'm glad that satisfied you. So, next question. Hey, exclamation point. What's something you wish someone had told y'all at 19?
Ooh, this is a very practical one that's going to make me sound like an old person.
Doesn't have to try. Sorry, we're not gonna keep doing this every episode. We're not gonna keep this every episode. I'm so sorry. Everybody knows I think you're old, and you don't think you're old.
But do
It's
you
fine.
really think I'm old?
Mom? We just don't need to go down this rabbit hole today.
Okay.
You know my answer. They know my answer.
I can't believe this. I think you're as old as you feel. Anyway, that goes
Live your
back
truth.
to actually my answer, what I was going to say. I wish at 19 somebody had told me how important stretching is.
Oh, you say this all the time.
Do I say
You
that?
talk about stretch. No, not on the podcast, but like in general in life, you talk
yeah.
about stretching all the time.
Yes. So I just, I can so relate this to a spiritual principle. I think I'm going to do it. But the point is, when you get into your 20s, especially after I had kids, late 20s, then in your 30s, I was more interested in jogging. I lifted weights. So I've always been active. But you're more interested in burning the calories, having the muscle mass, and being able to fit in the jeans you want. It's
Correct.
about the way you look. Then you get to 40 something and you realize your priorities really are shifting in the way you're taking care of your body. You want to make sure your knees are still working when you're 60. Like you want to make sure you can walk and your knees don't hurt all the time,
Right.
And I assume as an athlete, you can appreciate this, that you're thinking about as an athlete, mobility. You're not just, range of motion, agility. You're not just thinking about fitting in your jeans. You actually want to make sure your body works and is optimal. So I realized when I got into my 40s, oh my goodness, the flexibility that you need, the stability that you need as you get older is important. And had I been prioritizing stretching and not just jogging,
Right.
my joints would have benefited from taking the pause. It seems like such a slow pace, underwhelming thing to do, to sit there and stretch.
Yep.
But like I watch you guys your whole team at the beginning of your games, and basketball teams when I'm at your games, the whole warm-up situation, y'all are stretching. You're
Yeah.
like, your coach is like, you can't get out here and run up here and play and do all this stuff and not take that time. So it's a quiet discipline that in the moment seems very much less important than the jog or the weight lift or the whatever. But no, it's important to stretch. And here's the spiritual principle. Stretching means you're taking your muscles outside of their comfort zone. And to me, when you stop stretching physically, it means your muscles get rigid and your agility is less. I think that's the same thing in your life in all areas. You stop stretching your mind. You stop stretching your spirit. You stop stretching in your passions. Like if you just stay in your comfort zone, there's a rigidity that starts to set in. But when you continue as you get older to stretch outside of that which is comfortable, to make your muscles move in a different direction. And we know Miss Emily. Miss Emily is like this health and fitness wellness person we've known for 30 years. She's 65. She might be the most fit person I know. I mean,
She's
right?
65?
That woman, I'd say 63.
Oh.
Miss Emily is 63. This
Oh, I
woman
had
can
no
do
idea.
the splits. This woman has muscle mass. You can see like her arms
had
are
no idea.
chiseled. She has ripples in her. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And so she talks to people about health and wellness, but she also stretches people. So you lay on a table, it looks like a massage table, but it's much wider. And she literally stretches you. And I just thought, sometimes you need somebody
I need that.
to actually help you push yourself beyond. And she does it gingerly, she does it carefully, but she's helping to stretch little muscles you don't even know that need to be worked. And sometimes you need somebody to walk alongside of you to say, no, you can do it. Give it just a little bit more, a quarter of an inch to push past your comfort zone so that you can make sure your mobility continues to increase over time instead of decrease. So that was a long answer, but that's what I wish I would have paid attention to when I was 19. Keep stretching.
Keep stretching. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's an old answer. That's a good one. Mine would be that wasting your time at 19 is still wasting your time.
Ooh, very good.
That's my spill. I don't want to get on a spill, but
get on a spill. That's a good one. There's a young adult that needs to hear, and a grown adult, not an old one, but a grown one. They need to hear what you're about to say.
Yeah. So basically, we have this culture and society that has put a lack of expectation on young adults. And I would even go as far as to say an expectation to waste it. And so
just have fun, enjoy yourself.
Have fun, enjoy your life. Don't worry about it. When you get to 30, real life will start. You want to enjoy the time now before all the real stuff happens and all that type of stuff. And I'm all for having fun and enjoying myself. Trust me, I am.
Which you do.
Which I do.
In a good way.
But there's we have correlated the word waste and enjoyment like together when they're not together.
Yeah, they're
all.
mutually exclusive. You can enjoy and not waste your time.
Correct. And so, especially being in college and in high school and all that type of stuff, you see everybody and even me wasting their time doing things that aren't productive, aren't biblically sound at all, aren't like providing glorification to the kingdom. Like you're not doing anything at all. And so, but because you're 19, 20, 17, 22, it's okay.
Yeah, everybody's
it's
like,
not
don't
a
worry
problem.
about it.
Yeah, it's not a problem. But I wish someone told me at 19 that wasting.
We did tell him. Anyway, go ahead. You don't think we told you that?
No, I'm not saying you didn't tell me that. I'm just saying, I think it was manifested in different ways, or like said in different like ways, more spiritually. I'm talking more like practically. You know what I mean? Like you would say, like you gotta choose what man you're gonna be. Whenever I did something ratchet, like, and that's basically the same thing. But I'm talking about was like, hey, you're wasting your time. Actually, like you're not being productive. Like God is trying to use you, and He can't because you're too busy being comfortable and doing what you want to do. Like, you know what I mean? And you were too nice to say stuff like that. So
these people don't listen. That's exactly what I said. Right. You have a great illustration. First of all, that was a great answer.
I wasn't
Thank
finished.
You. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. So there are people, young adults, especially in college, coming out of college, a little bit more motivation to start real life, but all this stuff. Like there are people who think that it's okay to be comfortable and waste your time doing the partying, doing the alcohol thing, doing all of the sleeping around with girls, like all the stuff that's unserious because you can, quote unquote, socially unacceptable, but actually you're not doing what God is calling you to do because there's no age limit on when God wants to use you.
Come on.
But anyways, yeah, so that's what I had to say. That's what I wish someone had told me that I did tell no someone that I wish that someone told me and that I garnered from them telling me at that age.
Understood. Understood. Well, maybe somebody will listen to you saying it right now. Like maybe somebody's listening to that, and seriously, you'll help a 19-year-old to kind of wake up and go, "Oh, wait a minute, God can use me right now, and I can be building towards my future right now."
You can be building towards your future practically.
I'm going to remind him about this illustration because I want him to give it. But also before I forget, because apparently I'm old and will forget things, there is a book called Do Hard Things. Get the book for your 19, 20, 15-year-old, 21, 25-year-old. I had them read it when they were young, but I just resent it to him again. Because I'm
like a third of the way through.
What do you think? You like it?
Oh yeah, it was great.
It's great. It's two young men that wrote this book. They were
18.
They were 18 when they wrote the book. They're describing a summer where their father basically said what you just said. Y'all are wasting time. Are they twins?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
he said to them, "Y'all are wasting time." I think their last name is Harris, and he said, "Y'all are wasting time. No video games. Here are some books I want y'all to read." Gave them a stack of books. It was about men who had accomplished great things. The boys were required to read these books. They didn't want to read them, but as they read them, it occurred to them all these great men in these books their dad made them read were like 15 when they did the great thing. Like
Oh.
King David
Yeah.
wasn't 30.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what the books were. I don't remember now. But the point is, they chronicle the fact that these were young people who were doing what became historically significant acts because it didn't register at those people's time that they were supposed to be just kicking it. They were called up to manhood. And, that's kind of like the scriptures. It says, Paul's like, I once was a child and then I became a man. Like there was no room for teenager, waste your time, kick it, no responsibility. That's a Western culture thing. He said, I once was a child. I spoke like a child. I acted like a child. And then I became a man.
Yep.
And I put away childish things.
Yep. So I would even go as far as to say, your teenage years of immaturity are still part of the child.
Oh, I agree.
Like they label a teenager,
We
but
just
actually,
gave it a title.
if you are indulged in the social acceptance of what teenager says, actually, you're still part of what Paul is talking about, the child part. Like you're
I would
still a
agree.
child. You're not an
Yeah.
adult yet. You're a child.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. Okay, the illustration I know you have given is about spades. I think this is the best illustration because if you've not played spades, we're gonna act like we ain't never played spades, which we have.
Right. Oh, we
But we're
have.
gonna act like we haven't played spades, so he can describe to you because I think it's important for those that don't play spades for you to situate the game and then let them know how that applies to what we're talking about right now. So
Yeah.
so good.
So basically, I'll explain the game first. So basically, Spades is a 4-player game, 2 teams. So let's say me and my mom will be on a team, and there'll be 2 people sitting like this who would be on a team across the table. So they start playing the game, and everybody gets 13 cards. Everybody gets the hand dealt out 52 cards.
Standard
so
deck
it's
of
even.
cards.
Standard deck of cards. So everybody gets 13 hands. So everybody looks at their hands and thinks about how many rounds they're gonna win within the game. So there's 13 cards. That means there's 13 times that you would play a hand. So every time that you have the highest card or the best card, you would win that hand. And so I'm looking at my 13 cards and I would say, okay, I think I'm going to win 4 of these. Mom thinks she's going to win 2. So that means together we're going to go 6. We're going to win 6 out of the 13.
Predict 6 for
Yep,
our
we're getting
win.
6 for our team. The other team would do the same thing. They would bid. It's called bidding. And they would say, we're getting 5. So there's 11 books that are going to be won in the game, right? Okay, so anyways, point being is how the point system works in Spades is every book that you say you're going to win is 10 points. So if me and Mom say, hey, we're going to get our 6, and if we win 6, that means we get 60 points, right? If they say they're going to get 5 before the game starts, and then they get 5, they're going to get 50 points. So every book that you win is worth 10 points.
Here's the kicker.
Here's the kicker. And I'm going to revert it back to a story. I remember I was on a basketball trip, and a lot of my friends play spades. And so I remember I was sitting at the spades table. I wasn't playing, but 4 of the other teammates were. And one guy had made a mistake. They said they're going to win 6 books, let's just say, and he made a mistake, and they only ended up winning 5. And so Kyle, the guy, he's actually one of our coaches now. He was like, dude, oh, wait, let me go back a little bit. So sorry. If you don't get your 60, if you don't get your 6 books, you go back 60 points.
Okay, so let me just clarify before he goes on with the illustration. If you predict 6, for example, and you don't get 6, you only get 3 or you only get 4, that means you lose the number of points you predicted. So instead of getting plus 60, now you get negative 60 because you guessed a number too high.
Right. Okay. Exactly.
All right.
So that ended up happening in the game that I was watching. And so they only ended up getting 5 out of their 6. And so I remember Kyle saying, dude, what are you doing? Like, you just messed up and we lost 60 points. That's a 120-point swing. I was like, what? No. 120 points. I was like, how did we get 120 or 60? And then this is what made me think about it. He was like, dude, not only did we not get the 60 points that we could have gotten from winning what we said we were going to win, but we also now lost 60 points because we didn't steward our cards correctly. And I was like, it hit my head. Like, I was like, oh, shoot, I've never thought about it like that. And so in the same way how it translates practically is if you don't steward your cards correctly, if you don't steward your time correctly, not only are you missing out on the 60 points or the time that you could have been spending, but you're also losing out because you didn't steward it correctly. So it's not just a 60-point gain. Like it's a 120-point swing from where you could be. It's a whole big gap because you lost
So
it
it's
and didn't gain it.
costing you more than you think it is to waste the time.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Not only are you not getting ahead, but there were relationships you were supposed to make, character you were supposed to build, endurance you were supposed to build.
There was points you were supposed to get.
And now
I'm still
you're
on Spades.
negative because you've wasted years.
You missed out on the points.
Oh, I think that's such a good illustration to help you to remember you actually are losing way more than you think. That's a great illustration.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, next question.
I'm gonna go to another page. Let's see. All right. Which kid gave you the most run for your money?
Which kid gave me the most run? Well, all of y'all. And I'm going to tell you because it's different with each kid. I don't know that one has been any worse, I guess, or the word is, or any more.
/ who got the most whoopings?
Oh, who got the most whoopings?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think we should say discipline the most because we did spank y'all, but spanking was never my first MO. Sometimes you just need to get spanked.
Right.
But sometimes, to me, creative correction is so important because I would rather tie the discipline to what you actually did. Because to me, sometimes spanking a kid can be a very lazy way to discipline them. It's just the first thing that might come to your mind. But you didn't think, actually, what did the kid do and what motivates them and will help them to make different choices. So I tried to do other things or, enact other things that I thought be more helpful to y'all. So I don't know who got spanked the most. I don't even want to answer who got disciplined the most because that's not the point. The point is they all challenged me in very unique ways. And since your brothers are not here to defend themselves, I'll just talk about you.
Wait, whoa. That wasn't part of the question.
This one right here, I'm the boss of me. I can say what I want to say. This is media training 101, by the way. When an interviewer asks you a question, you can redirect it and answer in a way that actually is suited to what you want to share.
Yeah.
I'm giving you media training right now.
Thank you.
Okay. So this one right here, he was incredibly independent. So what that looks like, it can look like when they're younger, just straight rebellion because they basically don't want to listen to you. They want to do everything on their own, even if it actually can put them in danger to do it on their own. And so you were in trouble sometimes, not because you did anything wrong. It's just because you didn't have the maturity to match the thing that you thought you were independent enough to do. And you didn't want to listen to us say you actually cannot stand on that big tire and do a backflip off of it because you actually might break your neck and be paralyzed. And you would still try to do it anyway. And so then we'd have to go.
Sounds like me spiritually.
Now you got to sit down. Now you can't even play at the park with your friends because you might mess around and kill yourself out in these streets. So sometimes discipline,
Mom. That's a whole word right there.
Yeah, it really
Sometimes
is.
we think that God's putting us in trouble or on punishment,
He's
taking away
protecting
things is about him being wrathful. God, instead, understanding his nature, he's actually protecting.
He's actually loving you.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm going to write that down. I bet you I'll use it before you do. Then everybody will think I can.
I speak this weekend. You can't. I will shift my whole thing just for pride. I want to be right. I need the first.
Anyway, so you were disciplined a lot, but the discipline actually was restraint, giving you boundaries. It felt like discipline to you, though.
Yes, correct.
But
it
anyway.
did. Okay, so I have another question for you.
You weren't really a bad kid. You just did the most.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you. Then we'll go
You
back
did
to
sneak out one time. Anyway, him and his friend Ryan.
cousin, brother.
Ryan, who is his cousin / basically a brother / his best friend, one of his best friends. They snuck out. Now, let me tell y'all something. They snuck out to go to Whataburger. It was 2 a.m. I don't know.
It was something, man.
They wasn't even supposed to be on their cell phones. I don't know why they thought they could sneak out, but they did it. They did it. But then these nuts right here, let me tell you what they did. They recorded They were kind of having fun going through Whataburger and posted it. I think y'all posted it.
No, we didn't post
How
it.
did we find out then?
Ryan Dumbtail used his dad's card.
He used
Oh
his
my
dad's
gosh.
debit card.
I was like, what are we doing? And I was like, yo, I got the cash. You know, obviously, like, drug deal type of thing. It can't be traced. You know what I mean? Y'all get it. And
So
so,
you're the most deceptive of the two. You had thought through the deception
I
completely.
mean, if I'm going to do something wrong, I'm at least not get caught with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal.
So my son has snuck out. At least they were just sneaking out to go to Whataburger. So I will say, in hindsight, I'm like, thank you, God, that's all
God,
they were doing.
we were just so hungry. Like, that's it. We just
I
wanted
keep
food.
food in
We
the
didn't want
pantry, in
that
the fridge.
food.
They don't
we
want
wanted,
that food.
I wanted my barbecue chicken strip sandwich with a large fry in the Powerade.
And did you think if you asked me to go to Whataburger, we'd say no?
You already did.
You are correct. Oh, so we did say no. I
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
remember that part.
Oh,
You
yeah.
asked and we said no.
Oh yeah. That's why we were
And
like,
then you rebelled
screw
and
y'all.
snuck out.
That's what we said. Yep.
You said what?
We said screw y'all.
No, y'all didn't.
No, we didn't say that.
That is the
actually.
most
But-
disrespectful thing I've ever heard in my life.
no, but we said screw y'all by our actions. That's what I'm saying.
Wait till I see you, Ryan, the next time. This
She got
happened
mad.
like 7 years
Right.
ago.
So long ago. This is high school. Okay. Another question for you. What is your honest?
I need to say one more thing. Here's another thing about JC, because he just said that he would get away with stuff or he would try to not get caught. The thing was, whenever he did get caught, though, it was almost laughable, because if you came to him and said, "Did you do this?" he was going to be like, "Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry.
Because-
I can't even."
because-
he would never lie. He'd just say he did it.
I'm like, because there's two things. One, I know if you're asking me, you probably already know.
Correct.
And so I'm like, two, if y'all got through all the things that I didn't, like all the protections and all the situations and layers, y'all got weaved through all that and still found it, I'm like, y'all just deserve it. I got to do better next time.
Okay, so
That's
listen.
what it was.
There's two lessons in this. Number one, for everybody that is a teenager, younger than him, you're junior high, high school, you're listening to this right now. He's letting you know a little bit of insight right now. If your parents ask you, that means they probably already know.
Oh my gosh.
If they come to you and ask you, they're giving you an opportunity
To be truthful. I promise you guys, being truthful is way better than
It's way
lying.
better, because then you're gonna be in trouble for what you did and the lie.
Because you don't think about it like that. Like when you're like being interrogated, you're like, I want to protect myself. When actually they just already know. They're just giving. It's like God in the garden, like in the garden. Hey Adam, did you like? He already knows the answer. You just
So just go ahead and
go ahead and
man
just-
up or woman
yep.
up and tell the truth.
Just go ahead
The
and do it.
second lesson, I know we got to move on, but the second lesson in this is for all of you parents out there, and listen to this, because one day you're going to have kids. I got to the point where if I did not literally hand it over to the Lord, I was going to have anxiety. Like it was going to keep me up at night. Are they okay? What are they looking at on their phones? Did they plug them in the kitchen like I asked them to? Is there anything, it can make you have heart palpitations. And I'm not an anxious person. I'm kind of roll off your shoulders, kind of like whatever, everything's fine. Raising kids can, because they sneak out. That's why it can give you anxiety. My point is, this is what I started to pray. Lord, if there is anything in my son's lives that I need to know, that I'm going to now make it your responsibility to make sure we're aware. Because we see something, a notification comes up on our phone that goes, wait a minute, what? Or we get some little insight from some other parent that saw something, or Ryan uses his father's debit card at the Whataburger at 2 a.m.
What an idiot.
So you know what? That helped me to relax a whole lot and not be trying to spy on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just like, Lord, I'm praying for my kids. I'm watchful. And then I'm going to trust you that if there's something in their life that I need to be aware of so we can help them steward themselves into manhood, you're going to alert us. And let me tell you something, he does. Yeah, the Holy Spirit will tell you. He'll orchestrate things so that you become aware of stuff that even if you try your hardest, and it can give you so much anxiety trying to snoop around and look in all their stuff. And we were still very watchful and alert. But then at some point you have to let it go and say, okay, Lord, I'm going to trust the hound of heaven to go find them, keep his eyes on them, and then alert us when we need to know. Sometimes it would be a dream. I would wake up. I wouldn't even be able to know what the dream was. I would wake up and I would say to your father, who's peeking into the door right now, I would say to your dad, I would say, something's doesn't feel right. I'd say, I'm just letting you know, I don't have a good feeling right now about what's going on with JC or Jackson or Jude, and we just need to keep our eyes open. And then lo and behold, 48 hours later, 24 hours later, something would crop up and it would be like, all right, well, this is where we need to have a discussion with them and
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I had, God was against me at that point.
Not against you. He was for you. It's like
Yeah,
Jonah
right.
running from
In
God,
the right
and then the
perspective, he was for me, but he was snitching on me.
Jonah was running from God, and then this fish comes by, grabs him, and that sounds and feels devastating until you realize, had he not been in the belly of the quote unquote whale or big fish, had he not been in the belly of that fish, it was basically a fish called grace.
Yo, okay.
The fish preserved Jonah so that he could get back on dry land and have a
Right.
second chance.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Parents are the fish that God will use to come by and scoop you up at the nick of time to preserve you until you come back to your senses and can have another opportunity. My parents did it for me, and we're trying to do it for y'all.
Great. I have one more question for you.
You said great, like real dismissively.
No, that was phenomenal.
Thank you, Mom, for being the fish called Grace in my life. Say that.
So my mom is fishing for compliments.
Hey, I saw what you did
You
there.
did. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was great.
What is your honest opinion and reaction to me and Jackson's tattoos?
Oh, that is a good question. Okay. People don't know about me that I'm slightly rebellious and adventurous. So I don't have a problem with tattoos. I don't have a problem with piercings. You guys, this is different, and this is what my explanations or my answer is going to be rooted in. But like y'all all wanted to dye y'all's hair blonde at some point.
Oh, yeah. That
You've had a
OBJ
million
look.
different hairstyles. They've had locks. They've had their hair cut short. They've dyed it different colors. And that I am all down for. I actually had to talk their father into that because he's very conservative. And to me, I'm like, as many yeses as you can give them all the yeses, because there are some things that are going to be no's.
Right.
So to me, anything that's not permanent, like your hair, especially since y'all are boys. If I had girls, I'd probably be like, you got to protect your hair. You got to take your, y'all are boys. Didn't matter.
Right.
Dye your hair. Whatever.
Right.
Do the
Who cares?
most. Get a mohawk. I don't care. Tattoos, my only problem with it is that I felt like y'all did them too soon. Now, I will say I've been really grateful that you guys were responsible with what you tattooed. So mostly it's like a Bible verse, or it's the name of your grandmother, or a date that she was born or passed away or something. So you guys have put on yourselves things that are actually meaningful over a lifetime, not trendy things. I think on your wrist you have a quote that your uncle said to you.
Proper
that was
preparation prevents poor performance.
proper preparation prevents poor performance.
The 5 P's.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say.
And this is what your uncle said to you. You probably will be endeared to that. He's in heaven now. So you're going to be endeared to that statement for a lifetime. So, would I have preferred for you guys not to get tattoos or to get them later in life? Yes. Because I do think what is important to you enough to put on your body permanently changes as you get older. Just like your taste in food changes as you get older. So I don't prefer that you did it that young. But I told y'all that.
And we still did it anyway.
And you still did it anyway. You've done it in a way that you can't see it when you're wearing clothes. When you're wearing a tank top even, you really can't see yours. So I'm grateful for that. I don't think it's wise to do it
No.
in ways that no matter what you have on, it can be seen. And your body's going to change. You're a young man right now. One day you will be what you consider old, 50. Your body will be different.
I'm going to still look good.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not going to look good, but there are changes
like The
that
Rock.
have nothing to do with the way your body looks.
I'll take
It's just-
steroids before I
No, you will not. You will not take anything.
take test.
Take tests. What do you mean tests?
Testosterone.
No, you will not.
Yep. I will not.
Although there's nothing wrong with that. Do know that there are things hormonally that both men and women have to do as they get older, because you lose estrogen, you lose testosterone, and you can do those in a responsible way to help you to stay well. But you're going to still see, even when you take care of yourself, your body changes in ways that are not controlled by weightlifting. And there are some things you can't,
Right.
you can surgically make happen, but you wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I don't think. Maybe I would. Don't hold me to that. I can do what I want to do. Anyway, next question.
Why don't you want to be a pastor? I think your mom might be onto something. No.
No, but you didn't answer the question.
No, I did. No, that's the answer.
No, the question was, when you say that emphatically, that's what they're asking. Why don't you want? What have you seen or experienced that makes you say no so quickly?
I just don't want to preach every Sunday.
Okay, so it's the the need to create content, basically preaching every single Sunday, you feel like there would be a weightiness to that you don't want
Yeah.
to. Oh, you're right. It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. But you know what? God gives you the grace for what he calls you to. I'm not saying you're going to be a preacher.
Right.
But I'm saying whatever God calls you to, God gives you the grace for stuff you don't think you can handle.
Right. Yeah, I hear that. Not gonna happen.
Y'all, make sure you remember this. Write the date down. He said he's not going to do it. Isn't that what the Lord laughs at when we tell him what we're not going to do?
What was the craziest thing you ever did to get in trouble?
Yeah, JC.
Not content appropriate.
I think that you should be vulnerable and authentic and
I don't
share.
even know. I've done a lot of fun things.
They said, what was the question? Craziest?
The craziest.
Well, what is the craziest thing that you've done? Go ahead and tell the people, namely your mother. Go ahead.
Well, I got in trouble, so that means you found out. Coming home with too much alcoholic beverage in my system. That's a
Go
bad
ahead
one.
and tell the story.
That's a bad one. All right, I'll tell the story. Yeah, came home with too much alcoholic beverage in my system. Yeah.
Tell that story.
So there was 2 times. First time was prom. Second time, I was out with the homies, doing ratchet things,
What other kind of ratchet things were y'all doing?
enjoying my life.
But ratchetly?
I mean, it was alcohol involved. That's what I mean, like just ratchet.
Yeah, but were there other layers of ratchet?
Not to your knowledge.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking on the podcast.
Not to your knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's go back to prom, which was the first time
I feel like the second time was worse.
Well, you behaved worse. But the first time was jolting because you don't really drink like that.
Yeah.
But you were, from my understanding, at a party after prom. Somebody offered you something to drink. It was not labeled. Is that correct? It was in something that wasn't labeled, and you just having fun, blah, blah, which we've told y'all a million times. Do not drink nothing or take anything that doesn't have a
it didn't
label
even
on it.
taste
You have
good.
you have no idea what's in there. So now in hindsight, we think it was probably, what's it called? Everclear or ever?
Yeah, that 100 proof. That 100 proof
Yeah,
boy.
because he said he had like this much, unless you're
Yeah.
lying.
Oh, no.
At this point, you wouldn't lie. Are you lying? Did you lie?
No, I don't. If I had to put it in like a scale amount, it was probably like 4-5 shots.
What?
Yeah, so it was probably like, well, the thing was, it was like a big like water bottle, not a water bottle, but like one of those like, you know what I'm saying, like those like Yeti type of water bottles. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And so like it was girthy at the end, so like it paused, and so it was like this much, but like
It was wide.
in wide. You
And
know
you
what I
drank
mean?
all that?
Yeah.
Oh, so that didn't have to be something 100%.
No, it had.
It
It
could
had to
just
be 100%
be
proof.
shots. Like it seems to
No,
me like
5 shots of something else not gonna get you like I was.
Really?
No.
I've never had a shot, so I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I have. No. Nuh-uh. I'm 21 now, so I can't get arrested.
That means nothing. Your body is still the temple of the Holy
No,
Spirit.
I'm not saying it's right to take a shot. I'm just saying that I can't get arrested if I did it, which I won't. Don't drink alcohol. I'm okay with that. I mean, not okay.
To me,
I'm
it's
okay
the most.
with not drinking alcohol.
We'll get back to the story, but can I just say there's a guy named Tony Baker
Mm-hmm.
who's hilarious. And this guy, he was doing an interview once because he doesn't drink at all. He's a grown man. He's in his 40s. He doesn't drink
Right.
at all.
Right.
And he sat there on this interview and they were like, so you don't drink? And he was like, no, I don't drink. And all the other people in the interview were like, what? You don't drink alcohol? He was like, no. And he said, I'm always shocked that if somebody asked me, do I drink water? If I were to say, no, I don't drink water, they would be like, all right, well, no big deal. You should get some water if you want to. If I say I don't drink alcohol, everybody's shocked.
Yeah.
Why is everybody shocked that I don't want poison in my system?
That's true.
Why? Yeah. So
that's true.
basically he's like, it's poison in your system, which is true.
Oh, it's poison, all right.
Yeah, it's
poison.
like it is not working well with your body
Yeah, no.
systems, period.
No.
So even putting aside, the verses about being drunk and all that,
Yeah.
just to say if you want to be healthy, Just like sugar is not good for your body
Right.
systems, well, alcohol is not really great for your body systems. So, right or wrong, whether, because I know some people choose to drink, some people don't. But anyway, the point is, you wasn't supposed to be drinking nothing the night of your prom.
I sure wasn't.
And somebody offered you this thing in a Yeti, a thermos, which you don't know what it is.
Nope.
You drank it, and
Sure
this
did.
boy came
Sure
home
did.
and was sick.
Sure was.
When I mean sick,
Throwing up in the bathroom. Y'all know how some of y'all know how I be because I was ratchet back in the day too. Y'all just be laying there on the because the tile on the floor is cold and you hot, body overheating, so you just laying there trying to figure out why you did it, contemplating life, just like what is going on.
So
I might die.
it's like
Spinning
2 in the
roller
morning.
coaster.
So I'm hearing
it's a lot,
movement
it's a lot.
upstairs. Him and the same friend,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Hey, that's my road dog. Like
Yeah, Ryan's
through
the
the
best,
thick and
and
thin.
he's such a great kid.
Yeah, of course.
But I heard movement, and I'm like, oh, they should have been asleep by now. They're home from prom. It's early in the morning. I can't. Why am I hearing movement? Dad was asleep. I get up and I go upstairs to see why are y'all moving around? What's going on? And I just see towels on the floor. You're kind of.
Ryan trying to.
Ryan is such a good friend. He's just sitting there vigilantly watching you,
Right.
making sure you're okay. And I was like, oh, this is not the way you looked. Kind of drawn and your face looked pale. I was like, this is not good. And because, to be honest, I don't have a whole lot of experience with alcohol.
You probably got so worried.
Oh yeah, I was like,
That's
I'm actually might have to wake up your father here in the middle of the night because I don't know if you have alcohol poisoning because
Right.
you're throwing up. I was like, do we
Right.
need to take him to the hospital? I don't want to regret not having gotten you some
Right, some help.
hospital attention if you need it. So anyway, I don't know how we got all the way into the details of this story.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's funny. Ain't it?
But the point is, that's one of the crazy things
That is
you
one of the
did.
crazy things that I got in trouble for.
And
I don't
the
even
mo-
know after prom I didn't really get in trouble for that because I kind of
No.
downplayed it a little bit. But the second
Oh.
time I got in a little bit of trouble.
You did get in trouble because
did it again.
you're not supposed to be drinking nothing, sir.
That's true. No, that's true.
Can I tell you a crazy thing I did?
Sure.
This actually was just more dangerous, but it was crazy. I went with a guy that I didn't really know. I was in college. He asked me to go out on a date, and I went. And he was a guy that was, only way I can put it is a little bit off. Not because
Why'd
he
you
was,
say yes to the date if he was off like that?
because he was a nice guy, but he wasn't overtly crazy. He was just one of those guys that was so mysterious that you're kind of like, is he crazy?
Right.
Like he never really talked.
Yeah.
He was just kind of there. And he was a cute guy, but he was like, let's go out. And I said, okay, get in the car. I go with this guy. Don't know him that well. And we were going to go fishing. He said, we're going to go fishing. This is Houston in the summer, so it is scalding hot, 100 degrees, humid. He drives out to this bayou. So we get off the main road, go down this dirt road. Have I ever told you this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We go down this dirt road. We get on this little boat. And I don't mean a yacht. I'm talking about like a little canoe, metal canoe, mosquitoes. We're rowing, and we start fishing. We catch a fish. And I remember looking around me, and it was just woods around this little still stagnant pond that we were in. Nothing fun about this.
Was he
'cause
black?
It's hot. Yeah, black guy.
And don't feel like a setting that a black person
Well,
could be in.
I mean, it's the bayou in Houston. Come on now, this is the country, third
Ever since I
ward.
seen Get Out, the woods been a little bit off to me in my system.
Sir, black people fish. We
Yeah,
go.
I know, but my
I love
spirit
fishing.
don't sit right with woods, and I don't know. But I mean,
Anyway.
same thing with tea. So I guess I can't. The spoon.
You're getting
it's
off
a lot.
task.
Sorry.
You're getting off task. I'm a tea drinker. I like tea, okay?
My bad, my
That's all
bad.
I'm saying. Anyway, we get out there. We catch a perch, a small fish.
Mm-hmm.
And all I remember is like, oh, we caught a fish. And all of a sudden, out of his back pocket, he takes a knife. What they call? They're closed, and then you just click a
Like
button. You open it
a
up.
pocket knife.
Pocket knife. Takes a pocket knife. Boop. A blade comes out. He cuts the head of that fish off. I mean, he didn't say a word. He just cut the head of the fish off because he was going to hook the rest of that little fish on
To get out more. Yeah.
to fish again. And all I remember is seeing this blade, him cut the head of this fish off, blood went, psh, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am in the middle of nowhere. There are no human beings around. I had no idea this man has a knife in his back pocket. I don't know him. I don't have a cell phone. This is 1994.
Right.
And I was like, I remember just going, you know what, Lord, if you get me out of here. Because I know my parents would have been furious. You went with a random guy to some random stagnant pond somewhere in the backside of Houston.
Yeah.
And nobody knows where you are.
Yeah.
So that's one of the crazy things
That's
that I
crazy.
did.
That's crazy.
I'm just glad the Lord
That's crazy.
kind of got me out
Yeah,
of that
that's
situation.
crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy
I
situation.
also ended up in a trap house once.
Oh my gosh, drugs in there?
I'm gonna call it trap house, yeah, because to me it looked like a trap house. Me and my friend Suni, also in college, we went to a party. I won't say the fraternity, but we went to this fraternity party, and it looked like a trap house. It was just like a little broke down house in the middle of some neighborhood in one of the wards in Houston. And we drive up and we get out and go in. We 18. We go up in there. I have never seen so many 40s in my life, you know, in bags, you know, like sacks, brown paper bags, red cups. But these men look grown. Like they were like on the older side of college, if they were in college at all.
Right.
So mid 20s, we're 18 years old. And I just, you know, I saw people smoking weed. I'm assuming that's what it was. Drinks everywhere. I don't know why we were there. There might have been 2 other women there, but it's like 20 guys. So, and I don't think we were there
Bad
long.
ratio. Bad ratio.
Oh, terrible.
Bad ratio.
I mean, just poor decision making all the way around. So like seriously, when I look back, I'm like, Lord, you protected me from so much dumbness.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just dumb.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think we were there long. At some point, we were both like, I think we need
You should probably.
yeah, we need to get
know
up
what
out
I
of here.
mean?
But the fact that we got up out of there unscathed,
Yeah.
that's like the grace of God, because this is dumb
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Did you call me dumb?
No, I said that's dumb.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
No. I didn't call you dumb. If that's dumb for you, I hate to tell you the stuff that I did. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't take it.
Okay, one more question.
Okay, yeah. Let's end off on like a good one. Like
Yeah,
you
because
said.
we just did the most.
We sure did. We talked. I don't
We
know
out
how we
here
got
in these
into
streets
cutting off
telling
dead
all our
fish and
business.
alcohol, coming home drunk. I don't know how that gap happened. Okay, I'm gonna find a
I
good
hope
one.
you've matured past that stage,
Oh,
son.
but well past.
I'm so glad.
I feel like I wouldn't even sit right in my system telling people, trying to motivate people and help people, and then I'm getting drunk. Like it just wouldn't sit right with me.
No.
I'd feel like very hypocritical.
That's one of the ways, though, that people waste their time.
Yeah.
Using substances. You can't even be productive when you're on them. You can't even function at your highest capacity when you're inebriated by any substance. And you can be inebriated by an illegitimate relationship. Relationships can give you a high that you keep going back to, even if they're bad for you and they're toxic for you, but you just keep going back, just doing damage to yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, and you keep going back. So anyway, that's another conversation for another day.
Right.
All right. Last question for this particular podcast.
This is a good one. This is a little creative. If you had to be a Bible character, a historical Bible figure character, who would it be?
You go first.
Definitely someone in the Old Testament. They went through so many cool things. I don't really want to be in jail, so it's not gonna be Joseph.
That's a hard situation.
That's
right
a hard
there, ain't it?
situation to be in. That's too
Yeah.
hard. Maybe Joshua.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's a
overtaking
good
all those like all those people and taking over. Who did he? Was it
AI? He took over after Moses.
Yeah,
yes.
it was Moses, and then he took over what Moses did, and he was the one to lead and take over all AI, take over all the people. Like I feel like that'd be so cool to experience. And God like worked in such crazy ways within His journey and
Yes.
story that it was like, yo, that'd be cool to see. And I'm the king of all these people, and all y'all suck because I got God, and I'm taking over all y'all.
You just went left of center. Yeah,
That's not the right mentality. But if I had to pick
He
one,
wasn't a king of nobody, by the way. He led the people. He wasn't a king.
I thought he was, since he led I thought he was the king of Israel. No.
No, Saul was the first king of Israel.
I
They
mean,
weren't
not
even
king
in.
of- shoot,
Yeah,
my theology
he was
wrong.
he was just leading the people, completing the journey to the promised land after Moses died.
Oh, so then why do you have to take over all the nations?
Well, because they had to fight enemies all to get in there. And they had to overtake nations that didn't want them to come into Canaan. So the Lord used them to clear out the enemies that wanted them to not have the milk and honey. Remember, He said,
I
y'all are
missed
going to
that.
come into cities you didn't build. You're going to come into homes that you didn't build.
Yeah,
You're
you're
going
right. I
to
missed
enjoy
that.
vineyards you didn't plant. That's because the enemies did. They had to wipe out the enemies.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be super cool to go through. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
totally.
That'd be fun.
Good answer.
Yeah. Who would you be?
I think probably in that same time frame, I think the person that came to my mind is Pharaoh's daughter.
That's a That's an interesting pull.
Because I feel like she had this. Obviously, she's like raised as the prince's daughter or the Pharaoh's daughter of Egypt, but she's got something of sensitivity, compassion for Israel. Because when Moses, the little baby basket comes floating along, she knows he's a Jewish kid, but she gathers this baby up. She's rebellious enough that even though everybody's supposed to be killing all the babies and not caring about the Jews,
Right.
she's like, I'm doing what I want to do. And
Right.
she gets this basket and she raises this baby knowing he's a Jew.
Right.
And he becomes, he's raised as the prince of Egypt. And then you watch this kid do this stuff.
Right.
I just think the dichotomy of her life is interesting. So I'm intrigued by her. That's all I can say. That's the first person that came to my mind was she's this like underrated hero in a way because she
Yeah.
is actually the reason
Yeah,
why
yeah.
Moses' life was preserved. I don't think in the moment she knew what she was doing. She's just
Yeah.
doing the next thing, helping the kid. And then all of a sudden he's Moses.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. That's
Yeah. No, that's
I'm intrigued.
interesting. That is
Yeah, this was a good conversation.
What other Bible characters would I want to be? That's a good question. Now I got
It's
me
a very
thinking.
good question.
The New Testament is the redemptive story of Jesus Christ, but it's not as it's a little more boring than the Old Testament.
I wouldn't mind being Peter because Peter's like walking on
Oh
water.
my gosh, that's a cool. Oh, I have a good one. I feel like I would be John the Baptist. That would be cool because of your relationship with Jesus, your close proximity with Jesus, cousins, right? And then experiencing in such a way, and then being that compelled to, go spread his gospel, whatever. But then still doubting. Like I want to know.
Are you talking about John the disciple? Or are you talking about John the Baptist?
Baptist didn't at one point wasn't he like
Denying? No.
He didn't deny, but he was like, God, are you really who you say you are? Jesus, are you really who you say you are?
Yeah, that's not
John. That's John.
That's John.
That's John.
That's not. I don't think that's the Baptist.
Really?
That's Matthew chapter
Is that
7.
That's not the Old Testament? No, it
No,
could be
that's
the Old
New Testament.
I mean, yeah,
it's New Testament.
Yeah, I saw. No, I mean that. Hold on.
He's in prison and he says, "Are you the expected one, or should we look for somebody else?" Is that John the Baptist? I might be getting it mixed up.
Hold on.
You're Googling it.
John the
I could be
Baptist
wrong.
did experience doubt regarding Jesus' identity as the Messiah, even though he had previously recognized Jesus as such. This occurred while John was in prison.
Okay.
by King Herod. I knew I
You
wasn't.
did it.
I know the Bible better than you do.
You sure do. I'm so proud.
Priscilla Shirer. Who? What?
You're right. It's John the Baptist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
you're
I just
right.
think
He's
it's
the
so cool.
forerunner for Jesus.
Right.
He's introduced people to Jesus. He's baptized Jesus, all that.
Right,
And then
right.
life turns out bad for him in many
Then
ways. And he's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Messiah. I just
You the expected one?
yeah, which actually was very freeing to me, actually, in a way.
It is very
It's like,
freeing.
oh my gosh.
Because he's human.
Yeah, he's a human. I gotta remember that I'm human and I'm an idiot naturally. So, but yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Sorry I doubted you. See what I did there? Doubt.
Yeah, not as good as my pun earlier.
okay.
But whatever.
Thank y'all for joining us. I hope you were entertained by our foolishness.
Yeah, that was a different episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it though. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank
We
y'all
hope
for your
I hope you
questions.
learned something. Yeah.
Yeah. See y'all next one.
Bye.